today's video, we will talk about the diversification, not just the theory, but how we can take an example of the stock example. Just like the last video, we talk about the covariance and correlation, and take the example of the Meera Kiryana shop who run a sweet shop, and there's a Mehta family who have the four products, and we correlate each of the product with each other. Now, instead of the sweets, we will take the stock grid, and so picking up where we left off. So just now, like I talking about the this laddu burfi jalebi grid, the Mehta family who runs a sweet shop. And now we will take the stock example. The fund manager run the exact same rate except columns are stock. So the Meera is asking Ravi, if diversification happens, only having more stocks, if the data, the stocks are automatically diversified. So Ravi answer is not necessarily. So we're gonna prove with the real numbers. So by taking this the stock example, our question becomes: does the portfolio crash all at once, or does it hold steady? Right? So what diversification means at first? Diversification is spreading your money across different investments so that no single loss can hurt you too badly. It's like an idea of don't put all your eggs in one basket idea, right? So diversification is not really how many things you own. It's about how those things relate to each other. So we will see in this video, right? If you own three assets and then they're moving in opposite direction, they are moving in the same direction. So like if you own 10 stocks, all rise fall together, you are not really diversified. So the bad news hits, all 10 drop at once. That means you made the same bet 10 times. It's the in here the correlation means if the two assets are basically making same bet. If we have correlation 0, that means they are unrelated. If he is negative, that means they are moving in opposite direction. So let's we will you will understand this. We will talk about more when you have the example in front of you. Will understand the concept of diversification more. So in last example, we've taken the this meta grid, and now we will talk about the stock portfolio. So quick recap: meta grid, it does the product X related to or move with the product Y. So in this, we're saying the stock X daily return move with the stock Y daily return. So we have this four fictional stock: this trust bank or banking stock, and Capfin is another banking financial stock. Nova is the growth tech stock, and GoldX is the gold ETF. So 10 days we will take the 10 data points of daily percentage returns for each, and same layout as we used in this meta grid: one column per stock and one per row per day, right? So we will look the example into the workbook Excel spreadsheet. So we will see how the X stock move with the Y stock, and we will see the correlation between them. Okay, we have this workbook which we have a raw data of 10 data points of different stocks: Trust Bank, Capfin, Nova, and GoldX, and each day one the percentage of the return of daily return. So exact same mechanics as the Mahata grid, nothing new to learn here. And This is the data points. We have an average of the each stock and the standard deviation of the each stock. Standard deviations stocks on uh, volatility, how much it swings day to day. Higher the standard deviation, the riskier on its own, right? So we have this. Other is the correlation matrix, same as the method grid. And after applying the correlation formula, we lock one axis absolute with the F4 and drag across down to fill this all this stock grid. The diagonal is always 1. The stock is perfectly correlated with itself. That's your sanity check. That's formula is right. Now the interesting part is when we look at the trust bank into the caffeine. This is the 0.93. The both banks both react to the same interest rate, and when one moves, other moves always does too. And now trust bank to the Nova 0.22. A bank and growth tech barely tracked each other, different drivers entirely, because trust bank and caffeine they both are the bank stock, financial stock, but this trust bank and Nova, one is the growth tech and one is the financial stock or bank stock. Now the trust bank and the Goldex is the strongly negative. That means coal tends to rise exactly when the bank stocks get nervous. That classic flight to safety behavior. And that Nova versus Goldex is mild negative. The tech and gold are not natural opposites, but doesn't move together either. So this entire diversification story, sitting in one grid, two stocks in the same sector are basically making the same bet twice, and this and a stock and hedge like gold are making opposite bets. So this tells us it's not about how many in how many stocks you invest. It's like in what sector and when what asset you're making bet on, right? So even if there is a rise and fall, and if they are two stock related to each other, so your portfolio don't crash down if any of the sector making a loss, right? So in how many stocks you invest that are moving together, diversified, is all about diversification. We will see this concept in our next workbook, that does the diversification actually work. So one is concentrated versus diversified. So we first, our portfolio is concentrated, which means the trust bank and caffeine, two correlated bank stocks. And what we did is, so we have this 10 data points of these two stocks, and we take an average of these two stocks, right? And each day average returns of the stock in that portfolio, and then we use the standard deviation of these on each portfolio 10-day return series to measure how much it swings around. First, we this is the in between stocks, that the two correlated stocks, and then the bank stock, the growth sector stock, and the uh, growth tech stock, and one is the ETF. And then we take the average of these three diversified stock and then take the standard deviation. So then we have this result, portfolio A result and portfolio B result, right? So this is the standard deviation of the portfolio A and B. Portfolio A, volatility, how it is barely different from holding each bank stock alone. So because in our first workbook we calculate the individual standard deviation, like their own risk. So when we are taking the two related bank stocks, there's a barely changes. So barely different from holding either bank stocks alone. So we have the trust bank alone standard deviation is 1.38 when compared with this portfolio, is that is a barely change, barely different. Then you added a second stock but didn't actually reduce your risk much because both stocks are reaching to the same thing. That means they are correlated to each other, they are moving in the same direction. Now other is portfolio B 0.63, which is a less than half of any of the single stock in it. Nova, the most volatile stock in the whole set, right? By combining assets that move differently, the ups and downs cancel out each other out more than they add up. So, what does it mean is counting how many stocks you own tells you about nothing about your risk. What matters is that the correlation between them. Two correlated stocks act like a one oversized bet, right? And three well chosen, low correlation asset can smooth your ride more than doubling your stock count ever would. So, so even if you invest in the fewer stocks, if the mix is right, then you're good to go. So, if next time you read about the fund diversification strategy, you will know what's behind it. You can connect your concept with and take the concept into this grid concept into your mind, and you can tell how this diversification happens. If it clicks you, if this clicks the concept of how the diversification happens, when you have the clear concept of correlation between them, okay, and then you understands, okay, this is the how it happens. There's a correlation between these stock. That's how the portfolio crash, and they are because they are correlated to each other. I hope you like this video, like, subscribe, and comment. um, Going, let's recap what we have done in the workbook. We've taken the 10 data points of these four stocks, and then we apply the correlation formula, and then we make an identical grid that we have did with the Mehta grid. So they are correlated to each other, the correlated to how correlated to each other. And we have seen the trust bank and caffeine, they are correlated, highly correlated. The trust bank and Nova, and is Nova between Goldex is barely correlated, and there's a trust bank and Goldex, this is a very negative correlated. So both banks same rate, credit cycle news moves both. Trust bank to Nova, they are really tracked each other, and trust bank and Goldex, they're strongly negative. Gold rises when banks get nervous, and the growth tick between the gold X, they are mild negative, not opposite, but don't move together. Then we make the two portfolio, one between the two similar stocks, and the other is when we diversified. One is the bank stock, other is growth tech stock, and one is the gold stock. Right? Two banking stock correlation between them is 0.93. Both stocks related to same news, holding both barely spread your risk. You've made a similar bet twice, and this low negative correlation across the board. One asset dips, other tends to hold or rise. The swing partly cancel out. So then we take the standard deviation of the portfolio returns of the concentrated and the diversified. So higher is the bigger day-to-day swings. Average returns of the stocks in each portfolio day by day. Run the standard deviation on each portfolio 10-day return series. Compare the number to the individual stocks that make up the portfolio. If the portfolio swing is close to the individual stock swings, diversification didn't do much, just like in the concentrated portfolio. If it's a noticeably smaller, it worked. So we have the result, individual standard deviation, portfolio standard deviation. They're nothing much different. So and then if it's different, so that's the difference that we can see the diversification. So what actually happens to correlate stocks act almost like one oversized bit, diversification in name only. And in here we can see the diversification, low negative correlation, let the ups and downs cancel out each other, so diversification happens. So counting how many stocks you own tells you almost nothing about your risk. What matters is the correlation between them. So this is how it, even if your 4 stocks are enough, if the mix is right, uh, that's the takeaway. So it's just the how, it's not about how much stocks you have, it's like how much correlation between them, how the risk you own uh, about the stocks. If you like this video, hit the like, subscribe and comment. We will see you to the next video with different concept.